Welcome to a video about me discussing why I changed careers and how I came to this conclusion, basically. By the way, I have to apologize. This is my first video, so probably gonna be really newbie at doing this, but also the camera quality I hope is sufficient. It's just on my phone. But I got a tip to document my journey in studying IT, and I was thinking it might be well to do that, you know? So this is pretty non-scripted. This is taken in one take, so probably will have a lot of, you know, less fluid, so to say. But I just want to bring you guys along, and I think it's a great, honestly, for me to document my journey here. So let's keep going. So a little bit about me. I moved to the States 7 years ago from Sweden. In Sweden, I did study briefly computer science, I guess you could call it, in high school. I did practical computer repair, building computers, and stuff like that. I did some brief graphic design. I also did some brief web development and coded in C++. That was actually really fun. I was stupid enough not to really be more passionate about it and really, I would say, nerd out on it, because looking back, this would have been so much better. But you live, you learn. Just if you make a mistake, learn from it instead of just toss it to the side, so to say. So long story short, basically, I came to the States. I started various sales jobs. I say various, everything from roof, home, like home exterior sales, car sales. The latest rendition, I did solar sales. A lot has potential to make a lot of money. I never made any money. Was it my fault? Yeah, a little bit, I would say, definitely. Looking back, I could have done things differently, but I just really had the worst luck when it comes to getting bad managers. I've just gotten mad. I think it was in the home improvement sales. The manager there was just absolutely batshit crazy. The dude was just. He gotta have had some mental issues, and God bless that guy. I hope he's doing great, but boy, he was all over the place. When we first started, they started talking about putting basketball hoops in the place, and I thought, well, whoa, maybe they're going for that kind of Google style work environment, and the pay was supposed to be way better, so I transitioned over to that. It turned out just, yeah, everything fell apart, and it would be hilarious. We did phone sales, so it was in phone sales. The guy would literally run out to the floor and shout out to everybody, "Does anybody want water?" Which sounds nice, but don't shout when we all sitting and talking to customers on the phone. Okay, that was crazy. And secondly, the kitchen is right next door. We could just walk over there. There's a water fountain. Take a bottle over there, and like it was just like, I know it might not sound much, but he was like crazy. Anyway, that was actually kind of funny looking back on that. So anyway, long story short, basically I transitioned from that. I moved from Maryland to Texas in 2020. Managed to hit COVID perfectly, so I was pretty much homeless. Thanks God we managed to get a place. Long story short, I tried solar sales, worked my butt off. Turned out the guys didn't want to pay me. Basically took all the money. Anyway, so that was another bad experience. But so after so much time just kind of like realizing that this was not for me, and that I've kind of wanted to not put in the effort to learn a new skill. And what I mean is basically trying to be better at trying to like learn a new skill instead of just being like, hey, let's do sales and learn while we go, which is fine if you want like that, but you gotta realize who you are. And I realized that that was not me. Sales was not me. I'm pretty nerdy person when it comes to that. I like to sit on my computer and nerd out and solve problems. And I grew up on a farm. I forgot to mention that, but I grew up on a farm, and that was my favorite. Was just kind of go out and being in the forest and doing forestry work, like cutting down, being a lumberjack basically, and work on computer and build computers. It's like a weird combination, but like sales was not for me, and it took me some time to realize that. And that's one lesson I've learned, is to look down in you and understand who you are, so to say. So long story short, I know I like to rant, but I went from that basically to sitting down one day and be like, hey, I always like IT. I have computers. I play around. I play a lot of video games. Yeah, video games has less to do with IT, but I like to spend time with computers. So I was like, I had done web development. I have done coding. Maybe that should be a smart way to do it. So in a sense, a little bit reluctantly, I decided to pursue that because I need money. Interestingly enough, I started looking into that more and more, and I was like, you know what, this is actually something I enjoy. So I signed up for a code bootcamp. I had no idea how to study this in the States, apart from the traditional style, which is go to college, get a degree and stuff like that. I studied, when I was in Sweden, I studied thermodynamics as an engineer in university. That's definitely not for me. So I got a hold of a bootcamp, signed up for a bootcamp, and I was kind of shocked that they wanted like 15,500. It was a little bit sketchy, so I was like, I had one chance to like cancel that and just get out of it. Right when I was kind of like feeling like, should I do it, should I not? It was like 3 weeks before I need to start. I started researching, like, can I do this for free? Like, or not for free, but like, is there a cheaper way? And I some people said free code bootcamp. I looked slightly into that. It was not really my style. Long story short, I ended up in Codecademy. And I did like a lot of the layout there. It was like just kind of how I like to study. People like to complain that it's expensive because Pro is like $250, but I mean like $250 compared to $15,000, and the curriculum was basically the same, or I should say better with Codecademy. I was like, this, take it for granted. I don't care. Like, here, take my money. So at that point, I just canceled the code bootcamp because I was like, code bootcamps, in my reasoning, was code bootcamps probably is great, but at the same time, there would be a lot of holding your hand in the code bootcamp for you to pass, because they want you to pass. And I was like, well, as much as a lazy person, that would be great. I also know the best form of actual learning, because that will be vital when you actually try to get a job. When people ask you questions, you really need to know your stuff. Is to hit a roadblock and figuring out how to solve that roadblock. Basically, it's like, boom, how do I build this website? Well, nobody's telling me how I'm gonna build it, so I have to figure it out. Basically, that's what I liked. So I've heard people say Codecademy kind of holds your hand too much, and that's probably true, honestly. But at the same time, I see in a way like that's great if that gets me into this and get me started. Yes, but at the same time, I think number one thing with coding is that even if people don't hold your hand, you have to be kind of independent in the way you are studying and learning. Because if you don't, then it will just be like, how should I put it? You will never truly learn. At least looking at myself, I'm not talking about anybody else, I'm talking about myself. So I decided to go with Codecademy, so that's where I'm started. I'm 7% done. I started covering the basics of HTML and CSS, and now I'm soon jumping into JavaScript, which makes me excited because JavaScript is really what I want to nerd out on. So just kind of bring you along the road, so to say. So that's where I'm right now, and I was thinking, but just keep posting these videos. I don't know in what kind of time frame. If it's going to be weekly or every other day or every day, I don't know. I'm thinking about having kind of like a routine posting to keep myself accountable, number one, and also document my journey. If anybody likes to watch this, great. I'm grateful if you like to watch this, and you can build a nice little YouTube channel, and feel free to ask me any questions. But this is mostly geared for me to keep myself accountable and document my progress. Trying to think if there's anything else that I would like to cover. I kind of covered why I went with Codecademy instead of a bootcamp, and I can I'll link a short video. I'll split them up in two. So there's going to be a short video why I decided not to go with bootcamp instead of. Well, I didn't decide to go bootcamp slash college degree basically. But I'm gonna leave it there, and I'm gonna link that video down below. If you do like what I'm doing, please give me a like. That would be greatly appreciated, because it's always fun to share things with people and see people enjoy it, so I can kind of tune it. But also leave a comment if there's anything you want me to touch on, or whatever. Be free, be happy. Anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go, and I appreciate you stopping by. Thank you so much. And by the way, Emmanuel, to my future self, keep on going. Study hard. Accomplish your goal. Reach freedom. See you guys.